we are on good terms. I don't believe he didn't know about it.
No, you know I didn't know.
No, I don't, because I think you're a little bit snaky.
No, you know I didn't know.
No.
Don't talk.
No. Quiet, because
no. You can't say things.
No, stop, because then I'll take you through. Listen, I've been very nice to you lately.
You can't say things,
and I've been very nice to you lately. I've given you a big education in the last couple of weeks. I've told you were very lucky to be talking to me. Right. But we do get on well. We actually have a bit of banter. He actually, if you don't mind me saying, I said to him, because I'm still not convinced, I believe I said, if you knew about this, you're a dog. That's what I said. And he said, I didn't know anything about it. I have to take his word for that. But I don't believe the team didn't know about what they were going to do. And I just think hitting someone around the face, in the eye, with an object is not the thing to do. I can see a push, but to carry something up and hit someone around the face with it, for me, is a bitch move. I thought it was a bitch move, if I'm honest, because any time an attack like that is like premeditated, I'm not like, if you have a head-to-head, someone says something, someone pushes you, you whack him, I get it. But to all sit there and go, yeah, right, get me an egg, yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to goad him on and then I'm going to hit him around the face, which was really in the eye, with an egg.
Eddie Hearn didn't mince words when addressing the egg slap incident between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. He tore into it, calling the stunt utterly pathetic and labeling it a calculated attempt to humiliate. Hearn emphasized that if two fighters get into a heated exchange face-to-face, that's part of the fight game. But this was different. This wasn't a moment of passion boiling over. It was premeditated. The idea of sitting there, deciding to use an egg as a weapon just to land a slap in the face. That's the definition of cowardice, Hearn stated, clearly appalled by the lack of respect shown. Given the stature of both fighters, this wasn't just embarrassing.
Done is, he's flown in from Dubai today. So he's got someone to go and buy an egg. I doubt he went to Tesco's. He's got someone to buy an egg, give it to him. He's gone up on the stage with an egg, sat in his pocket. Everybody on the team knows what he's about to do. And he's hit him around the face with an egg. Listen, I've seen worse.
It was a disgrace to the sport itself. Hearn made it clear that boxing is built on discipline, honor, and the willingness to settle disputes in the ring, not through childish pranks. He questioned what kind of message this sends to fans and young fighters. Was this just a bad joke gone wrong or a deliberate attempt to disrespect boxing on a larger scale? Eubank Jr. flying in from Dubai and having someone fetch an egg for him wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment act. It was a calculated move. Eddie Hearn made it clear that this wasn't some spontaneous reaction in the heat of the moment. Everyone on Eubank's team knew exactly what was about to happen, yet no one stepped in to stop it. The sheer absurdity of bringing an egg to a face-off, hiding it in his pocket, and then slapping Conor Benn with it in front of the cameras left Hearn shaking his head.
Not having the antics of Eubank Jr. the other day when he had that egg moment and he slapped it right into Conor Benn's face. I'm nothing wookish about me, I can assure you. When I let rip, you'll know all about it. But I do feel it's maybe what the sport doesn't need, and yet many people are saying, no, it's great, you watch it. Everybody wants to go to that.
He admitted he's seen plenty of mind games and theatrics in boxing, but this crossed a line. Instead of an intense, heated showdown, the rivalry had devolved into a spectacle. This egg slap is just the start of a war of egos, Hearn remarked. The question is, how much further will this go? Meanwhile, Jim White isn't holding back on Eubank's stunt, calling it something boxing doesn't need. But here's the twist. Was it truly unnecessary? Or did Eubank ignite the very thing boxing thrives on? Controversy fuels the sport, and this rivalry just got even hotter. The egg incident may have been chaotic, but let's be honest, fans can't get enough of it. Critics may call it immature.
Never known boxing. It's expect the unpredictable. Do I think it was staged? No. Do I think that Chris knew what he was going to do? 100%. He planned it. I think he planned it from the moment that Conor Benn used the eggs as the excuse or the reason. And I think that he planned it, that one day if they were going to come together, this was going to happen.
Sure, but the buzz surrounding this fight is undeniable. Suddenly, Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn is bigger than ever. While Benn may have been humiliated in front of cameras, this only fuels his hunger for redemption. When these two finally meet in the ring, it won't just be about landing punches, it's personal. It's about pride, revenge, and the chance to settle a long-standing grudge. Is this what boxing needs, or is it just unnecessary drama? Either way, people can't look away. On the other hand, Adam Smith isn't buying into the whole Egggate fiasco. He posed the question, was this just another staged publicity stunt? Boxing thrives.
To mix it up a little bit. Yeah, if he goes all gung-ho, and Nigel said he'll smash him to pieces in 4 rounds, then the worry is if he hasn't hurt Chris by that period, like Liam Smith did, if he hasn't, because he's the smaller guy, he's in a lot of trouble, because Chris can navigate his way around a ring.
On unpredictability, making it difficult to tell what's real and what's hype. But one thing is certain, Chris Eubank Jr. planned this. Smith has no doubt that the egg slap wasn't an accident. He firmly believes Eubank orchestrated it from the moment Benn's name became associated with eggs. This wasn't a spontaneous stunt. It was a calculated move in the bigger game. Now the rivalry has escalated to another level. While some see the antics as childish, there's no denying that Eubank is playing the long game, keeping the boxing world buzzing with anticipation. What's next for these two? This fight just became much bigger than anyone expected. The stakes are high.
Surprised? Was I surprised? Not really. I mean, I didn't know he was going to pull an egg out of his pocket and slap it around his head, but, you know, it was always going to be some form of drama. And, yeah, it was always going to happen. It spiced it up. Like I say, I wasn't really surprised by it. Like, you know, maybe a little bit stupid, maybe not a little bit stupid. You know, maybe there was going to be something that's going to happen. Was it going to be Conor Benn? Was it going to be Chris Eubank Jr.? But I think that shows you the rivalry between these two and the feuds between these.
Higher than ever, and the real question remains, can Conor Benn take down Chris Eubank Jr.? If Conor Benn doesn't land solid punches within the first 4 rounds, this fight could slip away fast. As Nigel rightly pointed out, if Benn fails to hurt Chris Eubank Jr. early, he'll be in serious trouble. Eubank's experience and ring IQ are undeniable, and once he finds his rhythm, he's tough to stop. Despite being the smaller fighter, Benn has a lot to prove. If he doesn't make an impact early, Eubank's skill could take over, dictating the pace and controlling the fight. The clock is ticking, and Benn's window to make his mark is closing fast. This fight's intensity is bound to explode, but the question remains, can Benn land that decisive shot before it's too late? Meanwhile, Spencer Oliver wasn't exactly shocked by the egg stunt, though he admitted he wasn't expecting it either. Drama was always going to be part of the equation, and with the rising tension between Conor Benn and Chris...
We are on good terms. I don't believe he didn't know about it.
No, you know I didn't know.
No, I don't, because I think you're a little bit snaky.
No, you know I didn't know.
No.
Don't talk.
No. Quiet, because
no. You can't say things.
No, stop, because then I'll take you for... Listen, I've been very nice to you lately.
You can't say things.
And I've been very nice to you lately. I've given you a big education the last couple of weeks. I've told you were very lucky to be talking to me. Right. But we do get on well. We actually have a bit of banter. He actually, if you don't mind me saying, he was asking me potentially to go and box as bald.
Yeah, it was Eubank Jr. Something big was bound to happen. Spencer Oliver acknowledges that the egg slap was a foolish stunt, but it also underscored the deep-rooted rivalry between these two fighters. This fight was never just about boxing, it's personal, and that moment proved it. The egg wasn't just an absurd prop, it symbolized years of tension, frustration, and bad blood. Benn and Eubank Jr. have been circling each other for years, with emotions steadily building. The egg slap was merely the spark that ignited what had been simmering beneath the surface. Oliver sees this as more than just mind games. It's an all-out war. This isn't just about pride anymore. It's about ego.
Fine, that's what happens. You know, we saw that. I don't know how many times Derek Chisora has been fined. Like, I mean, he's a good mate of mine, Del Boy, and, you know, we have a laugh about it. But the antics that he got, it's all about selling the fight. Like, listen, after that happened yesterday, trust me, those tickets that sold, if they've already sold out anyway, they will be like gold dust.
Ego, control, and proving who's truly superior. One thing is certain, this rivalry is only going to get uglier. Meanwhile, Adam Smith weighed in on the situation, addressing the growing tension. He insisted that despite claims of ignorance, he wasn't buying the idea that Eubank's team had no knowledge of the stunt. Smith was quick to call out what he believed to be a sneaky attitude, making it clear that such denials didn't add up. His frustration was evident as he explained that he had been overly accommodating in recent dealings, yet found himself questioning the sincerity of certain statements. Smith also shared some of the banter between them, hinting that despite the rising tensions, there was still an underlying sense of gamesmanship at play. However, with emotions running high, things could escalate even further before fight night. They shared some laughs, and at one point, a joke was made about the other person potentially inviting him to join them on Boxer, raising eyebrows about whether it was just playful